I had a student ask about what does it mean if a song is in a key? And I'm going to try to answer that in a simple way. I think, well, not to keep working off of my book, but if we look at page 6, we'll see a C major scale. So if we're in the key of C, I might start with a C major scale. It sounds good to end on a C note. And not to go crazy, but there are 7 different keys within that scale, 7 modes total. But that's distracting. Don't worry about that. Let's just keep it simple. So what chord would go with a C major scale? Right, C. So if we do that scale, it resolves and it finishes and it sounds kind of complete and proper. So the C major chord works with the C major scale. That's a good start. The next thing I would do is check the names of the notes in the scale, which are C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. And then there's another C. C. Okay. Now, if we assign a number to each note in the scale, this would be the 1, the C. D is the 2. E is the 3. F is the 4th. G is, we'll call it the 5th. A is the 6th. B is the 7th. And C is the octave. I don't really call it an 8. I just call that the 1. 1, 8, 1 is just C, so we just call it the 1. Or you could call it the root note, or the tonic, or I call it the tonal center. So C is the 1 of the key of C. I remember how we played a C chord, so that'd be the 1 chord. Now we're going to assign a chord to each note, and that is a big step. It's a powerful step, and it's not too hard. Let's just see what it's like. Here's our 1 chord is C. Our 2 chord is D minor. Some of them are minor, which we'll explain somehow. The 3rd chord, remember the 3rd note is E, so our 3rd chord is E minor. Let me play those 3 chords. That was pleasant. So that'd be a 1, 2, 3 chord progression. Back to the 2 and the 1. All right, 1, 2, 3, pretty simple. C, D minor, E minor. The next one is F. So that's going to be a major chord. So the 4th is F. Let's just play the 1 and the 4. You could go on and on with that. The 1 to the 4 is a real neutral sound. Nice, wonderful sound. All right, let's play them in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. We better get to our 5, which is G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3. What'd I do? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sounds pretty organized, and that's good. It's kind of stiff, but I'm just trying to show you what the chords are. All right, our 6 is going to be, it's an A note. So the 6th chord is A minor. And the reason it's minor, I can explain. If we made it major, you'd have a C sharp note in there. C sharp note is not in the key of C, or in the scale. That's why it's minor. Make it a C, and all the notes in that chord are in the scale. All right, so I usually will write stuff out like the 1, 4, 5. Check this out. That sounds like a lot of songs we've heard, right? That's a 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. Most blues would be 1, 4, 5. Not always, but let me give you an example. Like Kansas City. 5, 4, 1. Verse. 1, 4. 1, and so on and so forth. Yes, a lot of songs use that, a 1, 4, 5. It's huge, very important. Let's do like a 1, 6, 4, 5. That'd be C, A minor, F, G. C, A minor, F, A, G, A, C. 1, 6, 4, 5. And then you can add that to like a 1, 2, 5, 6. You know, scramble them, do whatever. Because again, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are we missing? The 7. So 7. I remember I could kind of hear this when I was young, and I could play them. I didn't really know what I couldn't tell you what I was playing. They just sounded right. But when it came to that 7 chord, which I didn't even call it a 7, I thought B minor, that sounds kind of weird. Or a B7, not satisfactory. Because a B minor has got an F sharp in it. B7 has F sharp and D sharp. Those notes are not in the scale. So we have to alter these chords. What we usually try to do is a B minor 7 flat 5, which is like a B, A, D, F. So it's got some characteristics. One, it's a little bit rare. It's less common than these other chords in pop music. 2, it's got a weird name. 3, it's got a weird sound. 4, it's got a weird shape. For these reasons, I particularly like the 7 chord. B minor 7 flat 5. A lot of times my students are kind of, don't believe me. They're like, man, there ain't no such thing. Okay. So that's going to be a middle finger, ring, pinky, index. B, A, D, F. And just strum it. You're going to mute the D string. But if it's open, it's part of the chord, so it doesn't matter. And there's other places to play that chord up the neck. That's the 7 chord. Minor 7 flat 5. So I've got a page in my book showing chord formulas. So you can use these notes to make chords. And of course there's melodic lines, harmony, riffs, whatever you can think of, that would fall into these notes. All they are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So if you want to get started understanding keys, I would look at page 6 in my book, get that scale down, and I do have kind of a table showing chords in keys Page 32. It's got all the chords, like first one C, F, G. Those are your 1, 4, 5s. D minor's the 2, E minor's the 3, A minor's the 4, B minor 7 flat 5 is the 7. So I start with a 1, 4, 5 for the key of C. For the key of D is like D, G, A. For the key of E, it's E, A, B. For the key of G, it's G, C, D. For the key of A, it's A, D, E. Looks, how many do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I left one out. Well, that's typical for me. And there's chord formulas on another page where you can kind of see what makes